So I met a girl on Instagram where we're talking about what we're looking for, and then she tells me she wants to give all her love and obedience to her man. So quick backstory. I met her on Instagram. We started chatting and flirting. I'm like, so what's your type? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a long-term relationship? Because that's what I'm looking for. This is all part of my copy and paste text message funnel. If you want to get more about this funnel, just message me the word tiger on my Instagram, RedBeardRants1, and we can talk about, I run through like predictable steps, and this funnel is like killing it. And part of the funnel is, putting our cards on the table, what we're looking for. And she says, yeah, I just want like an older guy, this girl's 20 years old, by the way. She says, yeah, I want an older guy, 35 to 50 is like perfect for me. And I just want to find a guy that, yeah, like I said, is older. I can look up to him. He has, wisdom and experience to share with me, kind of guide me and mentor me. And then when I find that guy, I just want to give him all my love and obedience. In Spanish, she said, darle todo mi amor y obediencia. That's obedience. And I said, can you say that again? Just the way you said it. Like, if you guys know that scene from Wolf of Wall Street where he's like, can you say that again? Just the way you said it. Anyway, so because I'd never really heard something like that, and this was unprompted. This wasn't after I told her, well, I'm looking for a girl that wants a traditional relationship, and or this feminist movement. I don't agree with that. And I'm going to jump all around this video. We're talking about this girl, but I want to, a big, let's put some B-roll. This is not like, none of these girls are like the girl in question, but just B-roll of me with some beautiful girls. Part of these results are because, I look decent. I have an epic beard. I got the hair transplant. And I know I buzz it short, but I still got the hair transplant. I look decent. I work out. We'll put an unedited physique shot of me, and then maybe we'll put an edited one up there. But, I look pretty good. I have really good confidence, a really strong frame. My social media is baller. So let's put up photos of the social media. You guys may have seen this before, but me giving a speech, me on a podcast, luxurious locations, fun social life. So there's all that. Not to discredit myself, but a huge part of my success is I'm putting myself in environments where girls want to naturally, unprompted say to a motherfucker, I'm just looking for a guy to give all my love and obedience to him. Now, I'm not going to say the country because that causes problems on YouTube. If you guys are upset, if you're going to get all in a little grumpy mood about it and have a little period, change your tampon. It just causes problems. The second you're talking about being a passport bro and, countries, Latin America, the second you start saying specific cities or countries, people want to cancel you. Because me saying go to this city or this country because girls, tell men there that they're going to give all their love and obedience. If they don't know what country that they're talking about, no one gets mad, no one puts you in the news, try to cancel you. But if you say that, then trust, they'll twist my words and say that I'm like promoting sexual tourism or something like that, which has never been my message. So back to what I was saying. So yeah, I have a really cool social media. That's what I do. That's what I, teach for guys and stuff like that. We can get a free audit if you want. Go to my Instagram, RedBeardRants1. Message me on it if you want a free one. That's how I met her. So yeah, the success is partially due to like doing the right things, like we talked about, the right social media presence, the right strategy. I also have a software to find these girls on Instagram. That's how I found her. But I'm also putting myself in the right places. And, I do help a lot of guys in the United States. I'm, a dating coach, although I hate that label. Me with like the dating coach, I don't teach so much like the confidence mindset, how to walk up to a girl and have a good eye contact and a strong voice and create a spontaneous, fun moment with her. I mostly teach like the lead generation aspect of it. That's like funner to me. And I get like less like autistic, like weirdo clients, guys who know it, they get it. They're good when they're talking to a girl face to face, but they just, need like a better lead generation system to meet the girl, but they're good when they're on a date. That's the guys I like to help. And, but for the guys that are in the US, I have to be frank with them. Like it's really, really difficult because you're just dealing with inherently a culture of groupthink that is very negative towards men and that prizes and favors weaker and submissive men and favors domineering masculine women that are just generally frumpy and unappreciative and entitled. Hey guys, back to the video in 10 seconds, I promise, but real quick, if you want a list of all the hottest girls in your area from Instagram so you can stop using dating apps, which are garbage, and meet hotter, more receptive, less flaky women on Instagram, then go to my Instagram page, which is RedBeardRants1, and DM me the word scraper, and I'll give you more information. All right. Back to the video. And, back to this girl that I met from the unnamed country. I mean, look, if you're in my coaching program, if you're one of my students, I'll tell you everything, right? I'll fucking show you the girl. I'll show you the whole text conversation. This girl's adorable. Yeah, she's super, super adorable. Like I said, 20 years old. And it's exactly, what I'm looking for. And don't think that it, I'm jumping on. Let me stay on topic here. So back to the guys in the US. If you're in the US, look, there's still some feminine girls here. You're kind of like, maybe you're like looking for lions on safari, during like the migration when most of the lions have left. Like most of the lions have left and they're like chasing the wildebeest like way over there. And maybe like a few wildebeest stayed behind. There's a few lions, you know, pursuing and stalking those wildebeest. But like the majority of the lions had left. That's how America is. The majority of the lions, the majority of the feminine, beautiful, submissive women that want to give all their obedience to a man, they're not here so much. And, you know, I have a whole bunch of tricks. I have a really, really good strategy. If you want to work with me for finding foreigners in the US, I call this the reverse passport bro method. This is one of my good friend Myron Gaines from the Fresh and Fit podcast does or did. He has a long-term girlfriend that was actually born and raised in Venezuela. I think she's only in Miami for like 4 or 5, 6 years at the most. When I met her, her English wasn't even that good. I think her English is damn near fluent now. But when I met her, I was speaking Spanish to her when he introduced me to her in the podcast the first time. So there's a reverse passport bro method. And look, it's not totally hopeless. Like I get it. Some of you guys are like I'm working with a guy now that's an eye doctor. Is it optometrist or ophthalmologist? I don't know eye doctor terms, what the difference is, but he's one of those. And the dude can't just like fuck off and go to Brazil or Colombia or Venezuela or I don't know, Cuba, whatever, XYZ country. So, you know, I get it. And I can definitely help those guys too. But you have to understand that like, if it's my responsibility to get you laid, get you a good dating life, you're not making it any easier on me as your coach. You're not making it any easier on yourself either. Because again, my results, sure, you know, you can make the argument, well, you know, you're an above average looking guy, you got a way above average physique, you know, you're 5'10" and a half, 5'11", you know, you're 37 years old, but you probably look closer to 28 years old, blah, 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 epic beard. And then the social media presence we talked about, the strategy, virtual assistants, a texting funnel, you can make that argument too. And that would be very potent. That would be effective in America. And, you know, look, one of these days I'll like go on a date with an American chick and do a full breakdown and get her to be on camera and stuff like that, just to prove to you schmucks I could actually do it. So I stopped getting, and not that the haters, you know, the haters don't bring me down. The haters mean that your video is going out to a new audience who doesn't like, know, and trust you, and the algorithm's showing you to more people. So I love haters. Hate comments being like, oh, like new people who don't know me for the first time are like seeing this, right? So I love when the algorithm, you know, brings me hate comments because they're showing to new people. But yeah, maybe just to shut the haters up, I will go on some dates with some American chicks. But, you know, back to what I was saying about, you know, the femininity thing, it really, and the obedience thing. You have to also understand, and I'm shifting all topics, this is just kind of off the head rant, but this is important stuff because you guys, some of you are thinking like, well, I don't want a girl that's completely obedient. And that's fine. I do. I don't want a drone that doesn't think, that doesn't have their own opinions, that's like completely quiet all the time. Like I don't want like a virtual like sex doll with a pulse. But think of it this way, right? Think about, especially because girls that I date would be significant. They'd be at the very minimum like 10 years younger than me, about 26, 27 is probably the oldest I would ever date. So they're going to be, you know, I have 10 years of life experience on them. And let's also face it. Let's just, you know, put everything out in the open. Life is much fucking harder for a man. It's just way harder. What I bring to the table with a girl, and you guys can probably relate, assuming you've done something with your life and you're over the age of 25. Like in my case, I speak 3 languages. I've built many successful businesses. I hold multiple visas. I'm financially stable, financially successful, have a thriving business. I'm famous. I'm well known. I get messages from guys all over the world praising me that I've changed their life, that I've helped them so much that either like I've worked with them, like guys I've actually worked with, or guys that I've just inspired. I've traveled over 25 countries and like lived there for a significant time. I know about cultures and have so much to, I mean, just like the list goes on from, you know, nutrition, training, meditation. I have so much I could bring to the table and teach a girl, and I could financially provide for her. And I used to think that I would want like another entrepreneurial, savvy, like businesswoman, like a, you know, take over the world together type thing. But I just realized that these girls are just headaches. They're just masculine. And at the end of the day, you know, like, would it be nice if like the girl I was dating was a trust fund baby and her daddy was a billionaire and she had unlimited money of her own money? I guess so in theory. Would it in theory be like if she could be super feminine, docile princess with me, but then also, I don't know, like super simultaneously independent somehow and able to solve problems? And if I gave her like even like high level tasks in my business, like, yo, create a sales funnel for blah, 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 or redo my, like watch my content and based on what you understand from my offer, my content, like redo the website, and she could just fucking do it. Like a high level digital marketer who could just like bang that out, like a 1% digital marketer. I guess in theory, but you know, you show me, it's not necessarily a contradiction, but it damn near is. I met 1 or 2 girls in my whole life that had the most submissive, docile, like obedient presence with me. But they had like one girl I'm thinking in particular was like a lawyer and a certified accountant in Brazil. So she was like a Brazilian CPA and a tax professional. She had like 2 degrees in both. And she did like tax law for like huge companies in Brazil, saved them a ton of money, and she got paid really well to do it. She was driving, I forget, I don't know cars that well. I think it was a Mercedes, but I don't know. It was some like nice car that she had. So she, and she was like, 26, 27. She had her shit together. She like made content all the time. So I could even probably bounce ideas off that girl for like content creation and stuff like that. It didn't work out with that girl. She didn't look like her photos. I was really excited about her. But then when she showed up, I was like, like whatever. But, I still sealed the deal, but it wasn't worth, really repeating. Cause I mean, look, show up like your photos next time and then you won't get, smashed and then discarded, right? Your fault for false advertisement. But back to this, the topic, that this girl from this country who's, 20 years old, just wants to give her obedience and submissiveness to a man. That's what excites me. That's what turns me on. I recommend you guys go for that too. And you guys know, we've showed some B-roll in this video, and if you see me on Instagram, it's like a lot of these girls are arguably like 8.5s and 9s, depending on your taste. I show a variety. I show some morenas, I show light skinned girls, I show big booty girls, big titty girls, natural tits, fake tits, short, tall, all types of girls. But at the end of the day, like if you just have like a 7.5 that's super obedient to you, in the long run, that's going to be the best type of relationship, because if assuming you're like a very alpha, like masculine, like dominant, like type A personality, like me kind of type of guy, because who needs a girl to give you more arguments? Who needs a girl to disagree with you and compete with you and, insult you? I'll actually tell you guys a very, very personal story. My first girlfriend, I can't believe I'm telling this live on YouTube, but, fuck it, screw it. I think it's normal. It happens to a lot of guys. My first girlfriend, American girl that I had, she had the body of a Latina. She was a white girl with like the body of a Latina. The first time I was with her, I lost my virginity to her. Actually, that was my first girlfriend. I lost my virginity to her, and I was super nervous the first time we were in bed. And no worky. I wasn't strong like bull, if you get what I'm saying. It was a disappointment the first time. And then she said to me, she was one of those girls like very in the moment. She had like no filter, but she just blurted out, "What are you, gay? You must be gay because look at you, like you're in bed with a hot chick, and it's not working, so you must be gay." And I kind of just like, like, I don't even know like what I did or how I reacted. I mean, I should have just like, talked some shit back and then like, stormed off or something and never called her again. But, she was hot. I was in scarcity. And look, she had her sweet moments too. She wasn't just, I don't want to say, I didn't perpetually date like some, horrible, evil bitch, even my first girlfriend. But I'm just saying she was American, and that's just kind of how they are. They just, and then, the whole thing of like shit tests. Like, bro, with this girl that I'm talking to, there was no shit test. There's no like, oh, well, you're only 5'11". I usually date guys that are minimum 6'1". You're a little short for me and your beard's a little long. And like, can you shave your beard at least? Like, it's too, like, there was no like shit tests or anything like that. It's just like, it's not in them. And when you learn like classic pickup theory from like, Mystery Method or RSD, RSD Tyler, shout out to Owen Cook, my good friend. It's like, walk up to the girl, approach, build a rapport, pass her shit test is like a step in the process. Passing a girl's shit tests should not be a quote unquote like step in the process. It just shouldn't be something that you do at all under any circumstances. I mean, look, Latinas can get a little feisty. I guess I take it back. Like a light little shit test here and there, whatever. And I guess the downside of these super obedient girls is like maybe you can make the argument they could be a little bit boring. They're not as intelligent. You can't bounce as many ideas off of them. They can be highly, highly, highly feminine with like levels of estrogen and progesterone through the roof, which is really sexy. But then like anything breaks their heart. They start crying at random times, especially young girls. Like anything could just make them break down, and text them for 2 hours and they cry. I had a dream, you cheated on me. They're like crying their eyes out, but you gotta ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want, because for me, like, I just want obedience. I bring so much more to the table. I have so much more life experience. But life as a guy is so much harder. And like, no offense, I'm sure there's some badass women out there, but like, I don't need to hear anything from fucking you. You've had life on easy mode. You're a woman. You have a vagina. You've been able to use your sexuality. That's bought you gifts and dinners and vacations and cosmetic surgeries and bought back your time. Like, do you know how much like your sexuality, having a vagina, buys back your time? You don't have to go out and learn cold approach pickup. You don't have to swipe and, doom scroll endlessly, on apps or hunt down girls to talk to them on Instagram. You can open up any app, the free version of it, swipe for 30 seconds, you're probably, if you don't look like a piece of goo, you probably have 99 likes of probably like high caliber guys. You can fire off lazy one-word answers to them, and they're going to carry the whole conversation. Then you can just show up, and the guy has like, a 99% like not going to flake on you rate, versus how much time is on the reverse end for a guy to get the same thing. Doom scrolling for hours, spending money on boosts, spending money on likes, thinking of witty, creative text messages to say every single time, which you don't have to do. I forget if I said it in this video or not, or the other one, but you can go to my Instagram, RedbeardRants1, and message me the word tiger. I can give you my exact copy and paste text messages database along with my entire system. And I run through girls like these like completely, templated conversations. Actually, with this submissive girl, the girl who likes to be obedient girl, I ran her through that same funnel. And in the course, I teach that as an example. Actually, but what's funny? Before I even got a chance to explain like what I was looking for, she brought up that she was looking for, or I asked what she was looking for first, and then she said she likes to be obedient before I had a chance to explain that I was looking for that. So it's like completely unprompted. And I could tell if she was faking it anyway. So listen, guys, go where look, if you're hunting for, sea bass or something, go where there's actually sea bass and not swordfish or trout. You know what I'm saying? Like, consider whether, you could make money, remotely. Consider that, like, if you do have like a physical presence job, can you, set up the social media presence, pick out your country, go there, take 6 months off, live off of savings for 6 months, and then come back to your, pediatrics practice or like whatever you do, while you're on like a hardcore, like, wife hunt for like 6 months, marry her, bring her back to the US. I mean, decide. It's not impossible. If you're in the US, I can still help you, but you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not making it any easier on yourself. And really understand, to what degree and what type of girl you like, and then where you can actually find that type of girl. And try a couple things, because you may not like what you think you like. I'm 37. Lord knows I've been with, I lost count. Is it 400, 500, 600 bodies? I'm not even counting at this point. But Lord knows I've learned over the years what I like. So have some experience first, figure out what you like, and go to a place where they have what you like, but what you are is appreciated. You need both. You need to go to a place that has what you like, and then what you like also appreciates what you are. Again, you can find me on Instagram, RedbeardRants1, and there's so many ways you can get a hold of me, give you free Instagram audits and all these different things if you want to work with me, if you want some help. But that's for the action takers. Otherwise, if you just want to be entertained, you can subscribe for more entertaining rants. Cheers, boys.